Hello and welcome back to another character creation video. My name's Lumin and today we're having a look at Once Human. Once Human is a multiplayer open world survival game set in a strange post-apocalyptic future. Unite with friends to fight monstrous enemies, uncover secret plots, compete for resources, and build your own territory. Once, you were merely human. Now, you have the power to remake the world. Yeah, that's super ominous. And it looks super creepy. Like, this is the stuff of nightmares. I hope it works out for them. It reminds me a lot of The Secret World by Funcom. I think that's what the game was called, right? Similar feel to it. Scary stuff, man. If you'd like to do a deep dive to discover all there is to discover about Once Human, you can find some links below. As always, there will be timestamps. You can check those out, find what you're looking for, and leave satisfied. We're going to start by having a look at the presets. Type 1. That's the male presets. Type 2, that's the female presets. And I feel like I'm a terrible YouTuber for saying this. Yeah, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say it anyway. You can just watch the presets. I really believe it gives you a great idea of what's available. So, like, I'm going to say it here. You can check these presets out. They'll show you enough of what's on offer for both the male and female types, and then maybe skip to the end at the body stuff and check that out as well. Like, for real, that's all you need to see. You don't have to watch all the details that are available. It's not necessary. I'm doing you guys a solid. Just do that. But we're going to jump in and look at the presets. Then we'll do male face, makeup, body. Then we'll do female face, makeup, body. There you go. I'm keen. I actually really like what I've seen here. So, type 1 presets. Why am I zooming in so far up? Like, what is this camera? Okay, let's do it like this. It's fine. Let's just... I don't know what's going on. There you go, he's up. Okay. There. The character models and the look and feel of everything here, it gives off some Lost Ark vibes. And that's a good thing. The character creator in Lost Ark, it's fantastic. It's perfection. This one seems to give you almost as much to do with your character. It's just great. It looks really good. Almost every single part of this looks good. This guy looks a bit like Troy Baker when you look at the little thumbnail over there. And what I like about the previews specifically, and why I said, oh yeah, look, just watch the previews, that's enough, is because there are imperfections here. They don't just give you a bunch of perfect characters. Dude has bug eyes, massive brows. He's got a bit of a hooked nose. And oh my god, that chin in the jaw. Dude, you could cut steel with that. You know? They've got imperfections. This dude, goddamn, he's a stoner. He's struggling to stay awake. Yeah, he doesn't know what's going on. Where'd all these monsters suddenly come from? Why are his nightmares alive? You know? Each of these characters, they made them so interesting. It's really cool. I firmly believe, and if you're watching this, the dev or the designer who was in charge of doing these presets and setting up the models to show off here, they deserve a raise. They did an awesome job and they really know their stuff. Because, especially when we jump onto the female ones, you'll see that some of the styles that they put together for these characters, they just work. They just work. And it's not just about, like, making a bunch of supermodels, because oftentimes that's what they do, right? They have characters with imperfections. These cheekbones are a bit much. That nose, yeah, that's not perfect. This dude's a little lumpy all over, you know? The characters have imperfections, and that makes them even more perfect. I dig it. I really dig it. And you'll see, again, when I jump onto the female ones now, even better. Like, this is an awesome showing of this character creator. You know, what I dig about it, like one of my favorite things, is some of these character models that they have here, right? You look at them and you think, oh my god, that's a beautiful little doll. What an awesome looking lady. And then when you zoom in and you start to see the finer details, like the veins showing that little like hint of crazy in the eyes, then the facade starts to fall away. And then you're looking at the real self here and it's like, wow, wow. The design, like I'm saying it again, I'm going to say it a bunch of times. The design of these characters and the way they put them together, the way they use the options available to make these characters, it's impressive, man. Again, it's not just perfection. And I love it. I had so much fun just quickly looking at these earlier before I started recording the video. So like, despite everything else past the preset point, I really feel like the presets are just enough. They're great. And, you know, it's not just the frame of the face. It's not just the template that they used. It's also the color choices. Like, it all mixes so well together. The fact that they used this face paint and these colors with that hair and that style, it's all great. And this, goddamn masterwork in character creation. This right here. I do this often. I use the darker skin tone with the gold or an orange or an yellow, like for the makeup and the tattoos and stuff, because it pops. It shows it off beautifully. And look at it. Here it is. Here it is. This might be one of the few games, or at least character creators, where I will use mostly preset characters on my thumbnail, and I'll just be like, yeah, that's a good thumbnail. It's just enough. So, yeah, I mean, okay, I'm done gushing, guys. I'm done gushing. It's just really well done. Now, again, despite what they have at the other side here, when you go into face, makeup, and body, the showcase here, it's good. It's good. So even if you don't want to customize the character, and look, I'm not gonna rag on the system before I even start on it, but even if you don't want to customize the character, just picking one of these is good, because I do feel like these are great, but once we jump into the next part here, it's not as easy to just do what you want, and I'll show you why. Let's jump onto the male customization now. I have a few things to say about this, and I'm going to try and go through this relatively quickly because I don't want to bore people watching. Now, some of these options here are very impactful. Some of them do a lot and change a lot and move a lot, and they're awesome, you know? But others, I feel, don't even really need to exist, okay? And I feel like this is one of the few situations where I'd say that we have a few too many options here. I think it could have been simplified a little bit, and I'm not going to go on about this because I don't want this to sound negative. I don't want there to be an aura of negativity here, because I love what they've done, and they give the enthusiasts a lot to work with. But I do believe that a lot of this could be simplified, because as we're going through these now, and I'm doing the forehead stuff here, you will notice that a lot of these do barely anything. Like, as an example, look at this guy's face. It's like, it's such a minor little thing that you change in, right? Some of it's more, but some of it's very little. Like this one, for instance, the temple height. I think that they could have easily consolidated a lot of these into a single slider or two sliders or something like that, and it would have probably been a little more approachable. However, it is cool to have more options. You know, it's always good to have the option to spend an hour and a half in character creation and not be done. and still want to spend more time in it. I dig that. Okay, I dig that. And I'm going to say the same stuff at the start of the female creation and customization. I like what they've done here, and a lot of it is okay, but some of it feels unnecessary. Now, your preset that you pick when you jump in here is pretty impactful, because it will sort of generate the look and feel that you're going for before you jump in to customize. It's a big deal. Some of these options, as an example, this is probably the most impactful one we've seen so far. Some of them are massive. Like this one, it's like huge. That guy is not this guy, you know? Huge. Same for this. And I think it's same for a lot of the jaw stuff as well. And it's really nice. But again, some of the other options are just a little less so. So you might be moving things around here. And what ends up happening is you move a lot of stuff, right? You sort of change a lot of things on the face. And it doesn't feel like anything's actually making a difference. It doesn't matter. And then suddenly your character is just a monster. And you've created something worse than what you're supposed to be fighting in the game. That's what this character creator feels like. And it's awesome, but at the same time, it's sometimes a little difficult as well. Because I've spent a little bit of time with it before I jumped in. I wanted to be well-versed. And I felt like this was the best way of showing it off. Just going through the options rapid fire, showing you how much they move things around, and showing you basically, giving you a general overview of how, you know? Or how much, I should say. They're impactful. And like, as an example, if I do this, yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's just messed up. It's just crazy. Same before going the other way. Look, if I pull this all the way to that side, you can do some crazy stuff. But I thought this was the best way of, actually that looks more normal. I thought this was the best way of just showing it off. And I'm happy with choosing to do it like this. But yeah, here we are on the jaw stuff. I felt like the jaw stuff was also pretty impactful. The jawline and the jaw, this is the most important settings, I think. Again, though, I will stress the fact that I really feel like the character preset that you pick is probably the most important thing. Your brows, there's like so many. It's just the eyebrows, dude. It's just the brows. And there's 3 different menus with like 8 options in each. And some of these are huge. Look at that. There's one slider that I like to call the Jack Nicholson slider here. It could be the Jack Black slider as well. That's the one. And I just dig it. It makes me so happy that there's a single slider that you can just drag and suddenly Jack Nicholson appears on your screen. I love it. I love it. There's actually another one that does a similar thing. It's my favorite. It's my favorite. Absolutely. It's just awesome. You know? It's great. It's great. Here we go. We keep going. I'm sorry. These things make me happy, man. I'm passionate about creating characters. I'm passionate about looking at these systems and showing them off. I hope that shines through. Yeah, I mean, these are nice options. And again, I would never want to be misunderstood when I'm talking about this stuff because I dig it. And the guys that made this game, yeah, kudos to them. They did an awesome job. The models look great no matter what. And as a player, I firmly believe I've got enough control to make what I want to make here. There you go. So, that's the eyebrows done. Now we move on to the eyes. This is actually a nice section. The eyes are, they're important. They're important. Very impactful in the way that they can be moved around and stuff. And you can easily mess your character up by doing just a few things wrong here. So watch out with these ones. You know, treat them with care and caution. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, that's my McDreamy right there. Oh yeah. Oh no. Okay. Maybe I won't just use presets for the thumbnail. Maybe I can find some more here. Anyway, okay, so that's fantastic, right? It's awesome. But like, again, there's like inner eye corners, outer eye corners, upper eyelid, lower eyelid. Like, it's a little daunting, you know? It's a little much. Ew, it just keeps going, right? But all of these together, they make for, let's just say, some pretty interesting changes. Like, I've messed this guy up already. And like, before I go on to the makeup, I'm going to reset the face. I just want to point that out. I'm going to reset the face back to normal because every little change that I've accidentally moved around and not put back to where it was is impactful. You can actually like completely close this guy's eyes. Wow. It's all impactful and it all makes a difference and adds up over time, you know? But again, it's fantastic. It's like I wouldn't ever want it any other way. I love it. I love it. Jeez. Okay, the nose. This should be interesting. I wonder what we can do. Alright. Okay, starting slow, I see. Starting slow with the bridge. Well, no, that's not the bridge. The bridge is there. I'm gonna be honest, I've done a lot of these character creators and I have no idea what a Nassian is. I have no idea. I mean, I see now what it is. It's that little spot right there, but I've never, you know, I've never. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's, scuffed Liam Neeson, right? I see it. I see it. Oh my god! Hell yes, man! Like, that's insane! Dude, what a nose! Hell yes. Damn. I wonder if the ladies' noses can move this much. I really like it. Nose tip. Oh yeah. Wonder if I can make him a Who from Whoville. Yeah. I probably can. Nostrils. Cool. Decent options here. So, I mean, you might have at this point already sort of understood why I sort of said, you know, the presets are enough. There's a lot that you can do, and they don't show all of this off in the presets, but like really, if you want a decent looking character, take a preset, start with it, and yeah, roll with it. Again though, the little sort of monologue I went on about, talking about like the options available and them being too much, you can see why you could go against that entirely. It's not too much if this is what you want to do, you know? I was actually merely pointing out that you could have done this with less options, but like maybe not, you know, because we have some pretty fine control over what we're changing here. I have to really change that back quickly. There we go. I have to change it back because otherwise we're gonna be stuck with something we don't want. So you can do the top, Cupid's bow, then you can do the upper lip. Oh, you can make him sneer. You can probably make a nice grimace as well. Damn, dude. Not bad. Okay. Mid-lower lip. Damn, like they give you so much control over this stuff. Lower lip. Wow, left and right. I can make him gape. If I could have some drool coming out, that would be just perfect. I'm sorry. I can't believe I'm doing this right now. It's fine, we're at the end. I'm gonna reset it in a moment. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm having fun. I apologize. Me too, guy. Me too. That's the end. That's the end. I'm gonna reset him. Then we're gonna go to the makeup. I'm sorry. I've done this. Yes, customize, cancel. Okay, good. Whew, that was too much. I will die. Okay, so here we go. This is the more impactful stuff. Like, you can actually skip the entire face part, just jump onto the makeup. This is the hair. This is like a lot of the skin stuff. This is actually also a lot like Lost Ark. I just want to say that again. The way all of this works is a lot like Lost Ark. So, hairstyles, let's have a peek at these. You can also on the side here do hair tied, yes or no. Right? You can have the character look at you and you can change the lighting as well. Big deal. Hairstyles are important. They're impactful. Very cool, like really well done. Yeah, like it's not, and our gold standard is still like Hogwarts Legacy and Baldur's Gate for hair. But this is like, it's close. It's really good. Really nicely done. Cool hair. So if we let's just take this one, it's fine. You can change your overall hair color, and you can see the color translates relatively well. Then you can put highlights in, or you can actually customize full RGB. So like you can pick any color under the damn rainbow, and it translates perfectly. Once again, like Lost Ark does. So if I want to go for a blue style, or let's say like, yeah, let's go for this one. Then you can put some highlights in, some white highlights. You can set I think it's of, let's see if we do it like this, of the gradient, yeah? So you can sort of, and each style reacts differently. You can sort of have it be more or less. Same for something like this. More or less, and you're gonna have to use your imagination with this, because you can combine any colors with any colors. As an example, I could go with like a pink over here, and I could go with like a pink over there, and then I could go with like a black over here, and then you got black and pink, and then you can drag it more or less, or you could have just the one and not the other. It's like, it's cool. There's a lot to do here. You're gonna want to mess around with it, and I'm sure you'll figure something out. Then eyebrows, I think that's all of the hair stuff. Yeah. Eyebrows, you get to pick the actual eyebrows themselves. You get to do and I'm not sure why the color just changed there, but you get to do the color of the brows. There's a few different styles here. Eyebrows to me in this are very, you know, they're okay, and they look fine, but like, you know, I say eh. And then you can do the intensity, which is basically, it's like the brightness. I don't know. It's the brightness or something. I'm not sure exactly what the intensity is doing here, but there you go. Then the beards. This is a section where I wish you could sort of match it with the hair. I think the intensity is basically just that's your hair color. And if you slide it up there, it's the intensity of the color you add in, right? So I'll put the intensity on the lowest and we'll just look at them. The beards were a part of this that I thought was just okay. Because I personally don't like this style of facial hair. It might be just a personal thing where I feel like it's stuck on, but it's too obvious that it's stuck on. Where they have like, I don't know if it's a thing with like anti-aliasing or the way that they have the hairs applying to the texture of the, I don't know what it is. Okay, I don't know what it is. But the beards in this felt like a bit of an afterthought. And I understand that. I get it. It's sometimes very hard to do it. At least you can have a beard. And the beard, if you're just a little bit away, it looks really good. Texture-wise, it looks really good. But when you zoom in and when you use one of these with the stubble on, it doesn't really hold up to the scrutiny, you know? So it's nice, but it's just nice. There's nothing super special about it. The eye stuff, there's some really nice eye stuff here. And much like Lost Ark, a lot of the options here need to be seriously tinkered with. Like seriously, to get the most out of them. So you've got these different styles here for eyeshadow. You can do the colors, full RGB as always. And you can also, set the intensity, which makes them just darker or less so. It's basically the opacity on them. And then the eyeliners, I really like these. However, I do feel like there are too few designs here. Intensity max again, I'll take that color. And I say too few designs because like there's these two for like the really busy looking ones, you know, like for the like crazy looking ones. There's these two. And that's sort of it, you know? Like there's other stuff you can do, man. You can combine them and whatever, but like you're going to see a lot of people with just these two designs. So if there was like 2 or 3 more, that would be cool. Okay? But they are good designs. They are really nice designs. Pupils. We have some interesting choices here, and you do have choices to change the color and the way it looks. The eyes in this game are nice and impactful. There are a few here that you pick, like these ones, where you can't change the color. They sort of preset and they're ready to go. But where you can change the color, I believe it's really well done. It's one of the tests I like to do is I like to scroll out a little bit to see how visible that color is that you pick on the eyes, and this one definitely passes the test. So you can do that. You can change the color on them. And you can change the intensity on the color, and it works a little differently on each of them, and that's cool. It's well done. It's well done. Once again, full RGB, right? But these other eyes are also pretty interesting. Nose, well, I mean, it shows nose, but it's actually like makeup-y stuff around the face here. You can see on the pictures where it is. That's around the nose area. That's on the upper cheeks, and that's on the lower cheeks. That's it. Lipstick. I'm assuming the ladies have more options here. I'm assuming. Full RGB once again, so you can sort of make it black. I sort of miss the glossy and metallic tints here. It would be nice to have. I'll just say that. But overall, yeah, I mean, the fact that you can put lipstick on, that's okay, I guess. Then, the skin stuff. I believe this should have been earlier. I think this should have been in face, and it should have been the first thing in face. There are some good skin tones to pick here. They don't give you full RGB. All right? They give you this. And you can go dark, and you can go light. And, like, that's cool. Like, you know, you got a lot of choices with that specifically. In other words, you've got a lot of different tones that you can go for here. There are a lot of in-betweens that you can fiddle with. You got a grayer feel over here, and you got a warmer feel at the top. So it's like a cooler, warmer, warmer, cooler, you know? So you've got basically everything that you want. The skin texture it's a combination of, like, age and let's say, weatheredness of the skin, wear and tear. And, I mean, it's all right. This, again, I want to say, very much dependent on the preset that you pick. So, sort of pick wisely over there. The color balance is a difficult one for me to try and explain, really. But if you go sort of in the middle here, you can see when you pull the color balance around, it adds more gray to it. And this one makes it warmer. So, it's like a cooler and warmer tone. It's just the balance of the color between those two. Warpath. I'm not sure why this is called Warpath. Let me just set the skin back to this. These are the scars. I kind of dig what they've done with them, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through them all quickly and show you what they look like by default, and I will just also change the hairstyle to a short style so that we can see them properly. But the Warpath, it basically gives you all the different scars that are available here, and like, to be honest, they have really nice scars. It's nicely done. They give you some like rashes and stuff like that as well, which is cool. It's good to see, and I have almost nothing negative to say about the scars. They're really well done. They look sort of realistic and gnarly and stuff, and they have a great variety as well. This is not just scars. You can see it's sort of some blemishes and like moles and stuff like that as well, but there is a lot of scar in here, and you can always change the intensity on it to make it more or less. And yeah, man, I really like it. And that's now without even approaching basically the options down here. I've just looked at the intensity so far, but I'll show you. You can also set the brightness, which is kind of cool. I'm impressed by this system. I think it looks really nice. The one thing I would have said is that maybe they should have allowed you to do 2 of these at a time, but it might be a little bit much, you know? So those are the options. And even this is pretty cool. Like some weird cracked skin. And now if you take let's take that one, and you pull this up, these are the options that are available. You can set the brightness. You can make some like celestial scars, or make it darker. Then you can move it around horizontally. You can move it around vertically, which is awesome. And you can rotate it as much as you'd like. Now, the reason they probably didn't allow you to put multiple on is because then you could probably do some lewd shit on the face. Then you can change the size as well. There you go. It's good. And you can do that on all of them. So just know that you can take this one and you can make it bigger or smaller and so on and so forth. It's cool. It's a good system. Face paint. Also a reasonably nice system. You got the intensity over here, but let me show you the different designs before I jump into the options. It's more sort of, I want to say haphazard and messy. And I feel like it suits the style of the game quite well. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I haven't played the game myself, but I've seen the trailers and stuff, and I feel like what they have available here definitely works for what they were going for. I like it. I like it. See, like, as an example, this one here is like, it's not supposed to be there. It's sort of like a tattoo there. There's a barcode. Of course, there's a barcode. There's the tier. There's some pretty messed up stuff here. And again, it's perfect for this game. I really like it. And you'll see some of them have different options. And there are some really good full body tattoos here. Well, full body, full face tattoos here. The body also has tattoos. That's a separate thing. There you go. Pretty cool. Pretty nice. I like this one a lot. Now, if I go back quickly and I show you just... I'll show it to you on... You know what? I can basically just do it on this one. It's fine. You can do the intensity. As I mentioned, it's basically the opacity. And then you can sort of drag it over, put it into overdrive. You can move it around. Same as the scars. There you go. And you can rotate it. And then there are some extra options here and there on some of the other ones. But that's basically it. You have a lot of control over it, which I really dig. I think it's incredibly nicely done and well put together, and it gives you, once again, a lot of options. And now we're going to move on to the final part, the body options. So, firstly, you can put the gear on or off. I really like the mask that they have on here. I think it looks really cool. The outfit is really cool. And these options are important. Yeah, they actually have gameplay implications. And I feel like this is something that a lot of people would miss here. But if you hover over this little thing in the bottom right, it says your character's weight. It says moderate there. Then it tells you what weight category you're in. There's 3 different categories. You can see there's one that's 60 or less, right? And that'll give you base load 60, melee attack speed plus 15%, damage is minus 10%, and your max stamina is plus 25. So you're faster, you can attack faster, but you do less damage and you can carry less, right? Then if you go into the 60 to 90 weight range, then your base load is 80, your damage reduction is 10%, and your stamina recovery speed is longer. So it takes longer to recover. Then when you go into 90, which is heavy, your load is 100, your attack speed is way less, but your damage is way more, and you roll slower, and your weapon's more stable. So it's cool. And as you slide these around, you will see your character's weight will increase and decrease. And it's nice to have something attached to that. So a bigger character and a bigger model actually makes a difference. So here's your height, neck, and head, and then neck length. We'll leave them sort of in the middle. And here's the actual body. I'm going to be brutally honest, it's not a great system. The sculpting and stuff here, there's not a lot of options, which is kind of weird because we had so many options in the face. But they do give you some options. You can move things around a little bit. That's your shoulders. Here's your arms. And again, I think it's enough. Here's your chest. I think it's enough. And it looks all right. But it's kind of, it works in a weird way. So, like the waist, this setting is the most impactful for your body size over there. And as you see, when you slide it around, it makes a big difference and it puts you into the like higher category really quickly. But you have some decent control over these, and you can make some pretty, well, you know, funny looking characters because of it. Like, as an example, I mean, that doesn't actually look too funny. It looks mostly okay. You pull it to the max, because I know people want to see the max as well. There you go. Pretty barrel-chested. He carries his weight a little lower than you'd expect, but there it is. And if we put it back in the middle, then, yeah, back to normal. Then our final options here, the body paint. You have 3 different slots for body paint, so you can do 3 different tattoos or markings or whatever. And they are also heavily customizable. You can, and this is like one of the most intense parts of this whole thing, right? You have all these different marks on your body and stuff that you got to watch out for, but so you got to work around it. But you can move the location anywhere. You can put it on the legs, on the arms, and I'm showing you this before I do it, just so you know. Looking at these, just know that a lot of them can be moved. All of them can't be moved, but a lot of them can be. You'll see, for instance, this one is locked. You can set the intensity higher. Looks pretty cool. And then you can sort of leave that there, change the color or whatever, then you can put another one on somewhere else, if you'd like to. But let's have a look at the designs quickly, and you'll at least know what you're working with. And these full body designs, they obviously can't be moved, as I said, but the ones that can be moved, can be moved. I think it might just be the one that can be moved, right? The full sleeves are kind of nice. They're very detailed. They look cool. And yeah, you can put the same sleeve on both sides, and I think it looks pretty cool. Is that a leg one? Yeah, it's on the leg. There you go. And that's nice. So again, as an example, you can put that sleeve on, then you can put that sleeve on, I think. Does it work? No, you don't seem to be able to. Oh, you can just put the... That's kind of weird, right? That you can't actually put a sleeve on each side. I guess you have to take it... There's probably one for the other side, right? Oh, there are some on this side. Yeah, so you can have like the one on this side and the one on the other side. I don't know why they wouldn't allow you to split them, but there you go. That's basically the options available, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I feel like the body stuff was slightly less impressive than the rest of it. But yeah, I mean, there it is. There it is. That's the male customization. Then you can put the suit back on. And your final option is the avatar that you get to pick here. I will show this on both the male and female side of things, but there's a bunch of different avatars. You can have a peek at them. You pick these, and it's just sort of your profile avatar. You can change this in the game, obviously. And it's not a thing that's locked in stone. It's cool. It's cool. Then you put your name in, and you go. Right? That's it. Now, we are going to jump back. All the way back. That's the male customization done. That's all there is to see on male. Now we're going to jump into female, and I'm actually going to take the first preset here, and I think it'll be good. It'll be good. So, I spoke about this very briefly on the male side of things. I like the amount of options they have here. It feels like a real enthusiast's system where you have control over every minute detail. However, it's a lot. It's a lot. There's a lot. And some of it feels like it doesn't do very much. And I'm saying that now, and I'm getting it out of the way. And I'm going to continue with this now with nothing but positivity. Okay? I basically just want to say my point is that they could have done most of this stuff with far fewer sliders. And I think that would have made me happier personally. But again, there are some people out there, lots of people, especially people who come and watch these videos, who like having control over everything. And having more control and having the option to control more things is just good. There's no downside, really. So it's a non-complaint, but it's an observation that I made, where a lot of the options that they have here, as an example, like, for instance, the temples here, they feel like they don't do much. But what it ends up being is that there's actually just a lot of things you have to change for the impact to be big enough for you to see and appreciate it. We like, you know, we get to the, as we get lower down here, we get to the options that do much more. Like when we get to the cheeks and the jawline and stuff like that, they're more impactful. But you got to move a lot of them around to have the face actually drastically change, you know? So it's a complaint, but it's not really a complaint. Now, let's carry on. I really like it anyway. I like what they've got, and I will say here that a lot of what you work on and a lot of what your character looks like and feels like will come from the preset that you pick, right? Here's probably the most impactful one so far. It's a big deal making your character look chubby-cheeked or gaunt. But a lot of what you're going to do and what you start with is just the preset. Like, you gotta get the right preset for this. You pick the right preset, then you're off to a good start, and you sort of customize from that point. So pick a character that you like the look of, and you will be much happier. The cheek stuff is very, very impactful. Chin, also quite impactful. Yeah. Very impactful. As with the male side, I'm going to mess things up a little bit here just for fun. And what I will... Jesus God. What I will do is I will just, when I'm at the end of it, reset it and you know, I'll just go, I'll reset it and go with the default face into the makeup and stuff like that. Because, you know, it's better that way. So we can actually not get distracted by, well, a monster. Okay, jaw options. Here we go. Also pretty cool, nice and impactful. I like the control over the jaw, you know. Every step you get closer to Brad Pitt's jawline is a step in the right direction, if you ask me. Alright? Okay, that's it for the first face options. Then we do the brow. Look at all these brow options, man. It's pretty impressive. I'm keen to see, because the males had a Jack Nicholson slider, and I'm keen to see if it works the same on female. But this is really cool. It's like you move around a lot here. And if you fiddle with these options and you get the right stuff to the right places, you can do some pretty cool stuff. Like, this is actually kind of cool. How it changes the entire expression of the face. Very nice. There it is. It's nowhere near as much Jack Nicholson. Nowhere near. Like, I mean, geez, man. Even if Jack Nicholson was a lady, it would probably still be more impressive than this. It's fine. It's fine. It's a good slider. It's a good slider. But go check the male version of this out and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's a lot. Like, these are a lot. They are very impactful. So these are definitely worth checking out. That's the depth. 100% worth modifying. Yeah, man. And you throw all of these together and you mix them all up and you will have something that's like pretty ghastly looking if you want it. Or pretty fantastic looking if you actually do the right thing with it and you sort of, you know, fine-tune a look. I feel like this is the kind of game where you can most likely make an absolute beauty or an absolute beast. It's up to you. These ones right here are probably, I would say, the funniest ones. There's just so much happening here. Like there's so much you can do, and I'll show you now as I've gone through it. But it's just perfect. So as an example, I could do this and this and that and that. Like, isn't that perfect? It's perfect. Don't say anything. I don't want to hear it. Let's move it back to the normal ones again. There we go. I don't know if that's normal. Her eyes look a bit small. There we go. Now, we have like inner eye corners, outer eye corners, upper eyelids, lower eyelids. Like, that's pretty intense, right? And with this, you can actually make the eyes even bigger if you want to. But they're very impactful. I can zoom in a little bit more if you'd like. There you go. They are very impactful. When you throw them all together. I can barely see this moving. There we go. Like, these feel like such minute movements and changes. Like this one, for instance, is just the upper eyelid. Crease, depth, and height. Whoa! Whoa. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Like, it's very impressive, man. I don't even remember if Lost Ark had this much. I just feel like the models look like Lost Ark models. I don't know if it has, like, the same amount of customization available. It could have. It could have. But there you go. That's what you can do. And again, like, you can really mess the characters up with this. Like, you come in here, you try it out, you'll see what I mean, man. You'll see what I mean. The nose, I was really curious to see whether you could mess the nose up as much on the female as on the male. Let's find out. Let's find out together. I believe that this is before, like, now we're going to kick it off here. This is where the big stuff happens. And I really mean big stuff. Okay, okay. Yeah, dude, yeah. Where's the size? Oh, man. Oh, man. How a simple change like that can change everything. She actually looks good with a big nose. Githyanki. We can make a Githyanki from Baldur's Gate fame. There you go. Dude, it's so sunken in. What the heck? Yeah, okay, so I was right. Oh, man. It's the biggest. It's the biggest one. It's pretty big. It's cool. So it's a lot. It's a lot. When you come to the nose section, please be careful. Slide these sliders at your own risk. And please double check, triple check. For the sake of everyone playing this game with you, make sure you know what you're creating. What's the Spider-Man saying again? With great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, dude, look at this. Look at this. Exercise caution and restraint, because you can do some pretty messed up stuff here. You will probably see some messed up stuff on my thumbnail. Yeah. And now we're on the final one, the mouth. It's pretty cool. That's nice. It's nice to have all these options. It's like, I actually want to see someday one of these game devs make like a single little like triangle or square that you can drag a spot around in and have it modify everything at the same time. Or I'd love to see one of these companies make a randomization button that randomizes every single thing. Like all of it, and does the extreme on all of it. I'm going to mess the mouth up a little bit now. I'm so sorry. I'm just showing you all the options that are available, okay? I'm just showing you what's available. I'm sorry if you don't like the results. I like them. I like that you can actually have the face open. The mouth, I mean. Lower lip. Yeah, that's wow. and you know, it's not just dragging textures around. I actually really like this because, like, if you look, her mouth actually opens. Like, you can see the teeth actually go down. Like, her jaw actually drops. Isn't that fantastic? Yeah, look at that. I'm sorry. So there's a lot to change here, and you can probably do some fun stuff. Yeah, man, we're just at the dentist. You can probably do some fun stuff, but you can probably also mess it up irreparably. So just be careful. Just be careful. I think I did the exact same thing on the male character. There you go. Just be careful. Now, before we go on to makeup, I'm actually going to go back. That's the last options here. I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to go forward again, because I want a proper, I want a proper looking character. So, the hair. Decent hairstyles. I am a fan of what's on offer here, and I'm a fan of the hair physics and texture work and stuff like that. I do think that they could have had a few more styles, and you never know, they might just add more at some point. You can set over here hair tied or not tied, which just basically puts you into a different style entirely. There's the same amount of styles on male and female, and you've got basically the same styles overall, just different versions of them. But I do believe they could do with a few more styles. Or maybe like a modular system with the hair, where you could sort of, you know, mix and match some different parts to make what it is you want to make. But I like the way the hair looks, and I like the way it's actually quite impactful and really changes the way your character looks. It's cool. It's well put together. Now, with your hair colors, you have full RGB control. You have everything. You can do any color under the rainbow, and it translates beautifully, just like Lost Ark does, and many other games actually. But you can see the pink is beautifully pink. It looks great. Then you can also add highlights in. So if we want to add white highlights, then you can change that it's more or less. Same for something like black, more or less. It's like a zone system basically, similar to how Lost Ark does it, and a lot of other games do it. And yeah, I mean, it's nice. It's nice. So I feel like if you go for a lighter color over here, and so let's go for like a green, and you go for like a darker color on these ones, it'll look a little bit different. You know, you can sort of pull off some different styles with it. And then obviously each hairstyle sort of interacts with it differently, you know? But there you go. That's a decent look at what's available. And it's cool. It's cool. I just think that there could be more styles. But overall, it looks really nice regardless. The eyebrows. The eyebrows are fine. I have nothing much else to say about it. They're fine. They're fine. There's not much going on here, but they are good. I have no complaints. You can change the colors, and you can also change the intensity. So the intensity basically takes your base hair color, and it adds whatever color you pick here to it. There you go. See? And if you drag it to 0 or minus 15 in this case, then it's base hair color. Eyeshadow. Cool. Very cool options. Big fan. Like them. Like them a lot. You get a slider here to change the intensity on them, as you can see. And they're nice. They're really nice. Like, that's beautiful right there. The females have a few, I think that the males don't have. I'm not sure if I remember seeing this one on the males. I think that there are, yeah, a few unique ones on female, which is good and bad. I mean, I feel like the males should actually get all of them as well, but it's whatever. And they are some of my favorite parts of this character creator. Again, just because of the sheer detail that's involved here. I mean, you're looking at like minute details on a model that still, even with them being so tiny, stand out greatly and look fantastic. It's really cool. Like, this is really well done. I'm a fan. I would have liked, once again, I would have liked more options, but this time I just want more options because I'm a greedy boy, okay? Because they're so nice. They're really nicely done. Beautiful. Beautiful. Masterclass in character design and makeup design. And the eyeliner is actually just as good, if not better. Let me show you what I mean. So on the eyeshadow, you will notice that some of them have colors. You can change them and you can do sort of interesting stuff with that. But let's just take the eyeshadow off quickly. Eyeliner works similar, but there's even more styles to throw together. You can put them both on, obviously. Colors, it's full RGB. I don't need to show you that entirely. The males have far less at their disposal. They have some of the same ones, like they have these two. But these ones on the female are just like, wow. Like the design on these and the color and just the overall detail, it's just phenomenal. It's really nicely done. And you can combine these to great effect. Like you can throw them together. As an example, that and that. Those work well together, as you can see. And you can make a pretty beautiful character. Pupils. Not a whole lot to change here, but the first few have colors that you can modify. Once again, full RGB. They pass the Lumin eye test, where if you zoom out, you can clearly see the eye color and it looks nice and it's impactful and whatever. And then they have some really interesting designs here that you can't change the colors on either. It's cool. It's well done. Once again, though, a little light on the variety, but really well done. You can change the intensity as well. There you go. Now, blush. Females have far more blush than males. You have a lot more choices here. You have blush in a lot of different zones that you can apply. You can see the zone picture over here or on the character's face. But, I mean, I don't know. I want to say whoever uses blush. As an example, this looks fantastic. But, like, I don't know whoever uses blush like this. I never see a position for that to be on my face, and it never makes sense. Lipstick. I was a little saddened to see that the male characters didn't get all these. The females have more at their disposal, and it looks really nice. And I will just say that the females have like a built-in glossy lip, where the males don't. And I feel it's unfair. I feel like it's actually super unfair, because it's really cool, you know? There you go. And it interacts a little differently based on the colors you pick, you know? You can actually go for anything here, and it looks nice. As you can see, it's cool. It's a good system. It looks nice. It's well done. Again, more options would be cool, but like it's sort of nothing. I like the options that they have regardless. There you go. There you go. Our final option is the skin tone, which I feel should have been at the start. But it's nice. There are decent skin tones here, and I do believe that they've done it quite well. It's sort of grounded in reality where it's concerned, where you have like colors that you'd expect to see. You have the warmer tones at the top and the cooler tones at the bottom, and they all look good. They all look good. You can change the skin texture. That is a combination of like age and basically a weathered look that you're applying. You can also pick one of their presets here. But if we go for that, the color balance, this makes it cooler or warmer. It's a little difficult to see, but it just balances the color between cool and warm. So you can sort of just take it where you want it, where that's concerned. Our last two options are the warpath, which is your scars, which can be customized. But I'm going to show you the designs before I show you the customization. You can see they're a little bit less, let me say, impactful on the female characters. Like, a lot of them are harder to see and I mean, smaller than on the male, I feel. I don't know. Maybe it's because the makeup distracts from it or something, but they still look really good. And with the intensity pulled up, I think that they are sort of realistic in how gross they look. And I dig it. There are a few of them that are slightly less impactful, like pox on the cheek or whatever, and like smaller little spots on the nose. Then there are these ones that are just like awesome, where I think to myself, good God, that's amazing. It's really well done. And there's just a good combination of options here. It's cool. They have enough, that's for sure. And then each of these you actually customize. So some of them more, some of them less, but you can change the brightness on it to make yourself look like a goddamn zombie, which is cool, once again. And then you can actually move them around completely. You can move them vertically, horizontally. You can change the size, which is kind of insane to me. And so on and so forth. All of them get modified differently. So if we take the scar over here, you can put the intensity up, brightness up, and it's bright. Well, it's not bright red really, but it's bright. Or you can pull the brightness down and then it's much darker. Then you can move it around and put it exactly where you want it. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. You're scarred for life. I honestly think that it is perfect. With this one, no notes. No notes. This system is just great. They've done it really well. Yeah? Yeah. So there you go. Then it's face paint. The face paint is similar in design and similar in application. You throw it on and then you can do all the same options, where you can rotate it, move it around up and down, left and right. You can change the size and you can change the intensity. The one complaint I guess I would have is that you cannot put multiples on, but I understand that because the face would get a little busy. You know, there isn't really room for multiples, you know? There's a lot of different options, and some of these are, you know, much more visible. Like this is now, I should take the makeup off quickly. Where do we get the makeup off? There you go. Some of these are much more visible, and some of them are slightly less so. It's cool. It's cool. I think they're all pretty good in how they fit with the theme of the game. And I feel like you should be able to find something here that you like and find a design here that works for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. And with a combination of all these different options, and again, you can do full RGB with this, and you can sort of, with this combination of options, you can do some really cool stuff, right? It's nice. It's cool. It's well thought out, well put together, and I mean, I feel like the implications, yeah, endless possibilities. Endless. Some full face tattoos, some nice hands splattered all over. It's great. These guys got the assignment, they understood it, and they implemented it perfectly. Yep. Yep. Designers on this need a raise. There you go. That's the face paint stuff. We're going to move on to body now. Female body. There it is in all its splendor. You get to change your height, head and neck size, and neck length. And as I discussed on the male side, there's actually a hidden little option down here, or at least a little statistic that shows you what weight category you're in. So this actually has gameplay implications. The size of your character, height, weight, and all that stuff, it affects the way your game plays. So if you are less than 60 kilograms, then your base load is 60, your melee attack speed is 15% more, and your damage is 10% less, and you have extra max stamina, right? Then, if you're in the 60 to 90 range, where I am right now, then your base load is 80, your damage reduction is 10, and your stamina recovery speed is plus 20%, which means it recovers slower. Then if you're 90 or higher, then your base load is 100, your attack speed is lower, your damage is higher, your roll-in speed is lower, and your stability is more. Very cool. I feel like I've never seen this in a game. I'm a big fan of it. So like what you do here actually matters. The options are all right. So you can move these around, you can change a few things. I feel like it looks a little unnatural, and I don't like that you can't really change the muscularity. You can't really modify the amount of muscles your character has. You can only change the physical size of those limbs. But it's still alright, and it looks fine. Like, so if you drag it all to the lowest, it actually looks pretty natural, I think, on the lowest. I mean, she's skinny, but, like, it still looks okay. On the highest, it looks a little much. It looks a little weird. It's not like you know, Ark Survival Evolved levels of weird, but it's like a little strange when the sliders are one way or the other. As an example, if you make that the highest and you make the legs the highest, yeah, it looks a little weird. But still, it's nice to have some control over it. And then our final option, and again, that changes this. So if you just change, like, as an example, the waist and, like, the chest, then you can see you go into the big range. Final options are the body paint. You have 3 different slots for body paint, 1, 2, and 3. And this one you can move around. You can put it on different positions, on your legs, or on your arms, or on your body. You can change the color on it, of course, and the intensity and all the same stuff is on the tattoos. You can just move it around, you can rotate it, you can change the size, and so on and so forth. But then the other ones are, for the most part, locked. You can change their colors and the intensity, but you can't actually move them around. There you go. I don't like that you can't do, like, one tattoo sleeve on one side and one on the other side. It's a little weird the way they did the system. It's like the sleeves are all just on the left arm, and that's it. They look nice, but it's a little limiting in how they approached it, because it's all just on the left arm, you know? I did wonder, maybe I should check. Maybe if you do, like, maybe slot 2 or 3 is, like, on the other side. So, like, if I go to body paint 3... Oh! Okay. Lucky we just got to the end. Okay, as you've noticed, I've just been force-kicked into the outro, I guess. So, let's just talk about what we've seen. I'm a big fan of the system. They have pretty much all the character creation stuff. They have awesome models, good quality on everything, with tons of options. I would say in certain areas, maybe even too many options. But again, I mean, if we're being real here, that's not really a bad thing. I wouldn't mind a few more hairstyles and beards, and maybe tattoos, especially for the body stuff. But that's pretty much it. That's like all the criticism I have, and that's like really minor overall. And that can be added over time as well. I think the base that they're working from is fantastic. Again, I don't know how it sort of feels like it's linked to the Lost Ark system, or, you know, those other similar systems like that. I'm not sure how that link is made. I realize it says here NetEase at the bottom, so it's perhaps the same engine. But even with those similarities, it does distinguish itself quite nicely, and the characters do look quite different. It's good stuff. And I gotta say, like, if you compare it to some of the other character creators and the other systems that I've looked at recently, it holds up. Yeah. So all of that said, sorry again about the jarring ending. I most likely just got kicked for taking too long, which is nothing new in character creation. Thank you for joining me, my dudes. It has been a pleasure. And as always, you can check back here soon for more. I haven't played this game, so if anyone has played it or watched any gameplay or anything like that, please let me know what you think. You can also let me know what you think about the character creation system. As I've mentioned multiple times now, I'm a big fan. I think it's quite cool. I do think that it could be fun if they leaned a little more into the weird and nightmarish stuff with the character creator, because the few options that they have that look a little like messed up are awesome. So if they leaned into that a little heavier, and if they like gave you just a few more creepy options, that would be fun too. Yeah, no, I wouldn't say no to that, but overall, yeah, it's good. It's good. So again, if you haven't already, you can subscribe here. I put out a lot of these character creation videos. If you want to support me, you can follow my Twitch stream, come watch me live there, or you can check out the coffee website where you can throw money at me. That's fine too. Give this one a like and share it, and do all that other good stuff. And yeah, happy creating those characters, dudes. Happy that.